It's cool, cooler in the canyon. It's cool, cooler in the canyon. It's a broken record love song when you don't know where to start. If you're searching for a sign, take a listen to your heart. Roll on through the mountains and kiss the golden sky. Right into the sunset, find your peace of mind. It's cool, cooler in the canyon. It's cool, cooler in the canyon. Roll on through the mountains and kiss the golden sky. Right into the sunset, find your peace of mind. It's cool, cooler in the canyon. It's cool, cooler in the canyon.
Well, hello everybody. How are we today? Camera's still on. Look at me go. All right. Commentary. We know we don't usually broadcast the camera here at GT45 Gaming very often for commentary, but welcome everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, and good early morning to some of you all the way over on the other side of the world across from me over in the west here. Mr. Dennis Miller, yo, what's up, buddy? Hope all is well. Hey, all is well, my guy. My all is well. Everybody don't panic. We didn't stream this week just sheerly because we just had long work days. We're just too darn tired, so my apologies, but we're here today. And round 4 of the Mazda Miata MX5 Mini Championship here at the GTRC, ladies and gentlemen, so the Gran Turismo racing community, and proudly sponsored by GT45 Gaming as well. So a great group of esports racers here. Great community, great community. As you can see here right now, they're just changing the room over for qualifying right now. This is going to be a 1-hour endurance race at Red Bull Ring. Our fuel and tire multipliers, ladies and gentlemen, are 3 times each. So every time these guys go around the racetrack one time, they're using essentially 3 laps worth of fuel and tires per 1 lap around the racetrack. That's what the multiplier means for those that are unsure. Super excited. I placed an order last night finally to upgrade my pedals. Oh, nice. We all like the upgraded pedals here, ladies and gentlemen. Sim racing is a big deal here, ladies and gentlemen. You can hear this. We're talking with Miller Time Gaming and from Facebook here as well in the chat. So much love out to Miller Time Gaming as well. So, 1-hour endurance race. Medium tires are the required tire here. Racing mediums, of course, ladies and gentlemen. And actually, hold on. No, I think it's the softs in this series. My apologies. It is the racing softs in this series. So racing softs are the tire to be used here with the fuel multipliers. 1-hour endurance. It is a pro and a amateur split style setup. So we have a pro division and an amateur division on track at the same time, racing all against each other, all together on the track at the same time. However, we are also racing in their individual respective divisions as well for points. So the pro drivers are racing their own race against their own division for points in this race, and the amateur drivers are also running their own race for their own points in the division, but there's still the overall race between the 2 divisions going on, and that's what makes this really fun. I mean, the MX-5s are already a blast to hang out with here in Gran Turismo 7. Factor in a little bit of a multi-tier championship into it, and boy, oh boy, we got ourselves some fun. Good luck, Tron Kobe up in the house. Hey, good luck to you too, my guy. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that means we're going to have potentially 6 podium interviews at the end of the broadcast today, because we'll be doing the top 3 from each division. So the way we tell which driver is which is that there is a stripe on the bottom of their windshield banners, and on that stripe it would either be red or it'll be white. A red stripe means that we're looking at a pro division driver, and the white stripe means we're looking at an amateur division driver. Now, there will be a little bit of confusion because we do have some reserves in the field here today, coming in for other drivers who are unable to make it. So they may or may not have the stripe on the windshield, so it'll kind of be up to me to hopefully update you guys and gals out there properly. But that's what we do. Chad coming in with the thumbs up as well. Much love, my guy. Hope you're doing well there. Shout out to my Apex Sim Racing boys over there, partners with GT45 Gaming here as well. Everybody coming in and showing the love today. That's what we love to see. Ordered the AXE Sim potentiometer for the gas pedal. Ooh, and the true brake, eh? Oh, schmancy, my man. So we are underway here in qualifying now. Ooh, you can see Bar was getting it all kinds of wrong there. Getting a little bit squirrely coming out of corner 1. Turn 1, obviously a little tricky here. And we're going to probably see 7, I would think 6 or 7 hot laps here for qualifying. Now, again, we are in Gran Turismo 7, folks. So, with that being said, we don't have qualifying set up built into our lobbies like we did in Gran Turismo Sport, like you guys have seen in the past. So, it's something that the game is still working on. Hopefully, it comes in sooner than later because it would really help with our setups of course, our lobbies for our league racing here for these awesome guys and gals that are out on track. You give it their all week in and week out here. So Bar is first on track here, so we're just going to sit on Bar. This is the out lap, ladies and gentlemen, or the first official hot lap here. So when Bar comes around here, this will be our first recorded lap. And as you can see, Bar 27 here, amateur driver. So typically we'd see him in a pro division or a higher up division, but he made a debacle of his qualifying and he ended up in the amateur division for this season. But has missed a couple of races, so he's behind in the points and he's charging. And we do have the points. We'll bring those up for you guys a little bit later in the broadcast. We got Hair Razor in behind Bar there, and Hair Razor is a pro division driver, so it'd be interesting to see where all these guys settle out. Bar 27 last week actually took pole position as an amateur driver in the race, 2 weeks ago. So let's see if he can do it again here this week. He picks up a half-second penalty there, which unfortunately means he's actually not going to get a time in a recorded time. The penalty will negate that lap, unfortunately, for Bar 27. So we currently have Doug sitting in provisional pole after that first lap. Pigham's in second. Hair Razor in third. All 3 of those drivers are pro division drivers. And then we've got Tap, we just seen in fourth, but now we got Eber in fourth, also a pro division driver. We got Tap here in fifth. I believe Tap is also pro. He is. We've got Mike here as well. I believe he is a pro driver as well. So our top 6 so far are pro drivers. The first of our amateur drivers here is Tron Kobe. Tron Kobe's been having a fantastic season in the MX5 Championship Series here this season. Looking very strong. We got McBlunt here sitting in P8. And I can't remember which driver this is. I'd have to look at his actual PSN name, I suppose. We got Type R as an amateur driver here as well. I think I know who that is, but I can't quite remember. Amateur driver as well. He's sitting in 9th. We got Chip Reese on track, amateur driver as well. Fairly new to the series, I believe. So nice to see Chip on track here as well. We got Mr. Happy Pappy here. He's been having a good run here in the amateur division this season with these MX5s and building confidence race by race here. He finished second overall 4 weeks ago and for his division, and of course 6th overall in the race out of a field of 14 drivers. So he had a fantastic race about a month ago there, and he's going to be looking to repeat that here at Red Bull today. Bar 27 still haven't yet to record a time. Same thing with 750 here. So you can see a couple of the drivers here, penalties. This is Red Bull Ring. Red Bull Ring is absolutely famous for handing out penalties. The stewards here are relentless and unforgiving. So the stewards here in Austria want you to keep it right and tight and on the track. You abuse it, they make you pay for it. So, and you can see here, Doug with a 1 second penalty. You see Pigham's with a half-second penalty. We're seeing penalties all over the board here. I mean, honestly, every time we do these races at Red Bull Ring, we should have a bonus prize for first driver to finish in the top 10 that doesn't pick up a penalty throughout the race, honestly, because it is so hard on Red Bull Ring, even for an hour straight, not to pick up a penalty. Extremely difficult. Heard the true brake is almost as good as a load cell. I've heard that too. I'm a little unsure about that though. I'm still undecided. I just don't know enough about the sim racing equipment to really speculate, I suppose. I spend a lot of time behind the mic, not the wheel nowadays. So, so we got Mike here up in provisional pole by 1/1000th of a second. I ain't kidding here, chat. 1/1000th of a second. It can't be any closer than that when it comes to live timing here at Gran Turismo 7. We got Doug. He's going to serve that penalty there. Same thing with Pigum, so that's going to hurt both those drivers' laps here. Bar 27 now up into P5, so he's going to be the first amateur guy up as far as our amateur division goes here today. We got Trone Colby sitting in P6. Was in P6. Where's Trone? Trone's sitting in P10 here. So we got a pretty mixed field here, actually. It looks good. We got a little heavy on the pro side today, but again, 2 weeks ago we were a little heavy on the amateur side of the race. So a little more pro drivers on the field than we do see amateur drivers here today, but that's not going to change the fact that this is going to be an absolutely fantastic race. I mean, let's take a look at these times. 1/1000th of a second to second. From second to third is 7 hundredths of a second. From third to fourth is only 2/10ths. From fourth to fifth is 4 100ths. From fifth to sixth is 3 100ths. Like, seriously, from first to 11th place is within a second. First to 11th is within a second so far in qualifying here. We're going to have a race here today. Oh, we're going to have a race here today. Ooh, I love Red Bull Ring. Always gets this boy all excited behind the mic when we get the Red Bull Ring. It is just a fun track. It's got great flow. You can take everything at a fairly decent speed, minus, well, even turn one, you're coming out of turn one at 80, 90 mile an hour if you get it right. The only one that you really have to really hard slow down for is that hairpin in the center of the track. And I mean, even then, you're still going through there at about 65 to 70 mile an hour if you get it right. So, you know, high-speed track. For these cars, high-speed track especially. These cars are probably don't really drop under third gear too often on this track. If I had to guess, I actually haven't ran any laps with the MX5 on the track here today. As, well, I just didn't get on the track and run laps for some reason. So I don't know what the guys are up against here today. But we know there's a lot of twists and turns in this track. And as I was just saying, it's going to be a lot of high speed for these MX5s here today. So, tire wear is definitely going to be a factor here today. Fuel, probably not as much as the tires, but tires definitely going to factor in here today. Mr. Oklahoma Gaming up in the house. Hey, what is up, my guy? How are you? Coming in with that big thumbs up as well. Our friend all the way over from Germany right there, ladies and gentlemen. Man, we have not seen this legend in forever. Hope you're doing fantastic, my guy. It is nice seeing you, brother. Absolutely great stuff, ladies and gentlemen. So again, I do apologize for the lack of content this week as work. Well, it's my busy season here at work. In real life, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in trades. I'm in trades where I live here in Western Canada, and of course, Christmas just a couple of months away. Unfortunately, I know some of us don't want to hear that yet, and some of us are super excited for it, I'm sure. But that means for me, everybody wants to be in their new homes before Christmas time, so they can spend, you know, Christmas with their families in their new homes. So the pressure is always on your boy Ghost here at this time of the season. So I do apologize for the lack of streams last week. It was all on me. Just straight up too tired, guys. 12, 13-hour work days and just no energy left. So we'll be better. But we got lots of stuff coming too, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, lots of stuff coming. Eduardo coming in with the thumbs up as well. Ooh, but from Germany. I hope you're doing good. I am doing fantastic, my man. Doing fantastic. B-fam. Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're nearing the end of our qualifying here. I miss my community. You can tell we usually keep it right and tight with our commentaries for the most part, but I miss you guys, man. So we are hanging out with the community here today. Both communities. Not only are we hanging out with our GT45 community here today, we're also hanging out with our Gran Turismo Racing community over on their YouTube channel. So do me a favor, folks. Head over to YouTube. Put in GTRC, all in capital letters. The logo you see in the bottom right-hand side of my screen is exactly what will pop up for their YouTube channel. Do me a favor, go throw these guys a subscription for us. Let's get these guys growing. We're at 61 of 100 subscribers over there on the GTRC YouTube right now, and that 100 is an important goal for a YouTube channel. So do me a favor, Go over there, like it, share it, get it out there to all your YouTube friends, and definitely subscribe and turn on live notifications for me. Let's help these guys hit that goal of that 100 subscribers so we can get those important matters into their YouTube channel. Make some changes, get some links, short version for everybody, so it's easier for everybody to find these guys. Greatly appreciated, of course, from GT45 Gaming. If you guys do take the time to do that, it's always appreciated. Peekaboo, I'm here too. Miller Time Gaming over on YouTube. Haha. We love that. Love the community, just sitting there and helping each other and talking amongst yourselves as well. So you can see here, Pigums is done qualifying. We're going to start seeing all these drivers pulling off at the end of turn 1 here. Again, this is due to the fact that we don't have qualifying available to us, and I don't have game audio. Boop! There we go. Now we got game audio. Because of just the way that the game is set up currently, we don't have our qualifying settings in our lobbies yet, so we have to do things a little bit differently. So these guys have a set amount of laps they're allowed to run, and when they're done those laps, as you can see, they pull off at the end of corner 1 there, and that just keeps them out of the way of the rest of the drivers who are still currently on hot laps. Alright, so Pigums in provisional pole. We got Doug sitting in second provisionally, Barr sitting in third. We got Ibra sitting in fourth. Mike is still on a lap, so let's see if he can improve here. Nope, he's going to stay in fifth. We got Hairraiser in sixth, Type R in seventh. We got 750 in eighth. We've got Supra in ninth. We've got Trone in 10th, and I'm telling you, watch out for Trone. Is he invisible again? Oh, he might be off the track, actually. We got Tap here in 11th. We got McBlunt in 12th. Chips coming around right now on his final lap, and Pappy as well. Pappy's got the flashers on there. So Pigums taking pole on our race today. Pigums stepping in as reserve here today as well. So, brah. Yeah, I think qualifying will be added in a while. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. We could really use the qualifying feature. It would help spice up our league series and the way we can do our leagues and series, make things a little easier for our hosts. But you know, PD will get on it. We know PD will get on it. So 138.9 is our pole position lap here by TPC Pigums. Fast driver, ladies and gentlemen. I've really gotten a chance to get to know Pigums over the last 3-4 weeks now. You know, new member to GTRC, and of course, new member into Apex Sim Racing as well. So false start, grid check, 1 hour race. Kick them tires, light them fires. It's time to go racing. Let's go, folks. 1 hour. MX5s. Let's do this. Pro and amateur divisions. 2 lights. 3, 4, 5. And we're green. And we have terrible camera angles as always. So on board with Pigums, who is our pole sitter, but he's got Doug taking a look on the inside. Is Doug going to hold that position? No. Pigums gets a good run on the outside there. A little bit of contact between Barr and Ibra there, but nothing too major. Great job, it looks like, by all the field here as we're coming up into turns 2 and 3. Now, turn 3, hard braking zone. Hard right-hand 90-degree corner here. This is probably one of the slowest points on the racetrack here. And then, of course, coming up into the next corner here. So let's get a good look behind Pigums here, our race leader currently. And you can see everybody's getting through there. Everybody's getting through. We got 3 wide way in the backfield there. Everybody's starting to single file out here now. Great shot there coming down the hill. Some great camera angles here. Hopefully we can get to all the good camera angles fairly soon here. But for now, it's all on the production truck. We got Vic coming in with that thumbs up as well. How you doing, Vic? My guy. I just can't believe they released half a game. I know. Let's get ready to rumble. All right, so Pigums in the lead. We got Doug Burrow chasing in P2, getting a little bit sideways here. Now, when I was speaking with Doug after the GT3 race last weekend, he said that he really loves this track, but he's a little concerned about his tires, the way he drives his MX5 around this racetrack here today. So it's going to be interesting to see on that. And with that being said, we are going to leave you that. All right. So unfortunately, we don't have camera angles, the TV cams yet. Doug really closing up. Let's get into this backpack here. I'm seeing some juicy happening here as I'm looking at the radar. A little bit forcing a little bit wide there was Tap on Mike, but turn one, side-by-side turn one, man, it is extremely hard trying to get through there at 80 mile an hour and hold that line, not pushing another wide. Get him, Pigum, says Chad. That was fun. Let the madness begin. So, I mean, I keep hitting the wrong button. There we go. All right. We can try and leave the lobby and then come back, not lobby, leave the spectator mode, come back in. We might get the TV cameras in, but we don't want to miss any of the action, do we? So it looks like first through fourth is just settled into the race here. They don't want to lose each other, just in that single file line, nose to tail, keeping the draft. Love that GT45 on the back license plate there, Ibra, my guy. Appreciate you. All these cars have that GT45 on, and you just got to find it. Hair Razor here coming around. Hair Razor's a little bit off the pace of these guys, but again, Hair Razor's a strategic driver, so this could just be a part of the plan here. You see 750's just up in behind him here. We got Tap in 7th. Now, I believe I was going to put Tap actually in P3 for amateur division currently in the race. Bar 27 is going to be first overall for the AMs, and he's actually sitting third overall in the race. Oh, here we go. We got a little bit. Super's going to put his nose in there. And great job by Supra there to try and get the job done. So Tap holding off that Supra behind, but we'll see how much longer that lasts for. Let's just keep going through our field here and see what we see as we're on board with Type R here now. Now we do have fuel and tire here. We got a penalty here on Pappy. Pappy in P12 here. We got Trone in 13th and Chip here just a little bit behind in 14th. Now this I believe might only be Chip's first race here in the series for MX5. Might be his second. I'm not 100% sure. So we're going to see some of these drivers in a little better shape than others. And there we go, Doug making a move on Pigum's. Little tiniest amount of contact there, but that did not affect Pigum's exit there. Pigum's just getting a little bit squirrely on exit there. And Doug's going to get the job done there, so great move by Doug. He came into that corner hot to get that move done, but now he is in the lead. Now, Doug Burrow likes to lead the races. That's his style of racing. He likes to control the pace. He likes to try and control the race, but he has got his work cut out for him with Pigum's all up in his business here. Pigum's is patient, and we'll see. You know, Pigum's may very well understand that Doug's on pad compared to Pigum's being on wheel and pedal set too, and Pigum's just might be buying his time. Wait for those tires to wear down a little bit. Half the battle in racing is knowing your opponent and knowing your opponent's weaknesses, and in this situation, a weakness for Doug is the fact that he is on pad, and is going to suffer from tire wear a little more significantly than, say, that driver behind him on the steering wheel. Get him, Pidgey Widgy, says Jake. We got some Pigum's fans in the house today. We got Bar 27 here in P3. Now, again, our first amateur division driver here today. You can see he's trying to break the slipstream here, as he has got Ibra all up in his business. Ibra's getting really wide here. Ibra's going for the exit, and he gets it. Look at the exit Ibra gets here on Bar 27, getting a really wide line into the corner there, and he just absolutely powers around Bar 27. So Ibra taking P3 from Bar 27 with a great move on the outside of turn 1. Great setup, great finish. See if Bar can respond here as we come into this next sector. It looks like Ibra's going to lose him here a little tiny bit. So, game on. So we got Doug in first, Pigum's in second, and we just seen that great move by Ibra for third place overall on Bar 27. Again, Bar's still leading in the amateur division here, however, though, so it's not, it really doesn't mean much to Bar right now. It's a position overall in the race, but he's still holding on to first place overall for his division. We got Hair Razor in 5th. He is 4th place in the Pro Driver, so he's just sitting outside podium here for Pro right now. I really hate that I don't have my TV cameras. And he's got a little bit of breathing room right now, so he's in a pretty good spot. Tap, on the other hand, Tap's trying to catch Hair Razor. He sees that single car out there all by himself, like, oh, okay, let's go get that guy. And the only thing with Tap is he's got a Supra all over his back end here. And we've seen a couple of attempts from Supra to get around Tap here early on in the race already, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Let's see if Supra's going to make a move coming into T1 here. Now this would be an amateur versus a pro driver here. Oh, Tap got it wrong. Tap got it way wrong, and Tap absolutely creaming into the wall. He comes back across the racetrack. Thankfully, he doesn't collect anybody up in that. Really unfortunate there for Tap. Oh, that is going to be one hurt race car. So Trone's just coming up on this now, so I'm not sure if Trone knows that Tap had an incident here on track or not. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see what happens. There's Tap getting really wide there. That's going to be a penalty for sure for Tap. So you can see Trone's just going to go right on by here. Going to hold that inside line coming into turn 3. This is technically turn 3 here on Red Bull Ring. I know it confuses a lot of people. It looks like it's turn 2, but it's actually turn 3. That line, little tiny kink in between turn 1 and this turn here counts as a turn. You can see McBlunt there just in behind, getting a little bit wrong there. Alright, let's get back up to front here, make sure we're not missing anything too juicy here as we're on board with our leader, Doug. And you can see Piggums is still all up in his business here. He is got the front end of that car almost touching the tailpipe of Doug's car here. So Piggums going to get a little clean air into the front end of that car to get into these corners nice and tight. Oh, gets a little bit of a run there on Doug. It's tough being a chase car coming through these corners because you don't want to hit the driver in front of you, but you don't want to lose that pace on him either. So Piggum's braking just a smidge later than I think he wanted to there, and just losing a little bit of distance on Doug there. Let's see what happens coming into T1 here. Both got a very clean exit there. So Doug trying to pull away here, but Slipstream, ladies and gentlemen, is very strong in these MX5s. So with that being said, yeah, within the 9/10 of a second, these cars are going to start catching that slip, and they're going to start pulling into the cars ahead of them. So very, very strong, and it pulls you in very, very quickly. Ooh, Doug getting a little bit wrong on exit there. It's a good job for Piggums. That's going to give him a little bit of opportunity to close back up on Doug Barrow here, and half-second penalty for Doug. So Piggums just needs to keep it close here, and he's going to just get the lead by default. Fantastic stuff here. What an entertaining broadcast, Dave. We appreciate you, Onk. If we could have TV cameras, I'd be a little happier, but they're coming. As soon as we see a pit stop, we'll get our TV cameras back. We got a penalty here from Bar 27 in 4th place as well, which is going to hurt him a little bit, as he's still trying to stay in touch with Ibra. But this pack has a bit of a gap to 5th place here, and we see Super has now gotten around Hairraiser. I'm not sure what happened there. Hairraiser must have made some sort of mistake, and Super, the beneficiary here, is he's up in P5 and on a PV lap here at the moment as well. So a little interesting going on here. You can see Hairraiser's got to move here. He's going to go inside. Is he going to get it done? Into the braking. Super went in really late on the braking there. Ooh, look at this. What a battle. Oh no, and Hairraiser. Again, that's the second driver today we have seen lose it on that final corner. That curb and these MX5s has not been these drivers' friends today. That wasn't a contact-based incident at all, ladies and gentlemen. Hairraiser got on that inside curb, and it just unsettled that MX5, and he was just along for the ride at that point. Great job again for these drivers not to collect anybody else in the process. So unfortunate for Hairraiser, but good job to keep the car right tight, kept it out of the wall, kept it out of damage, just lost some time on the racetrack. So lots of racing left here, yet we're only 11 minutes into a 1-hour race. No need to panic here quite yet from these drivers. But again, we did just have an update, ladies and gentlemen, remembering, so that has changed a little bit of the factors of the game here, so the drivers are readjusting, and here we go. Piggums in the lead. Obviously, Doug had the half-second penalty there, so we knew that Piggums was going to grab the lead there, but now Ibra is starting to close in. Oh, and Doug's going to try and get this done on the outside. It's a tough move here coming through the S's. Oh, he's got a run. He does have a run, but Piggums is going to defend here, I think. He's just going to hold that inside line and be like, yeah, okay, mate. You want it. Take it on the outside. So, who is going to go late? Piggums and Doug about the same distance on the brakes there. Wow, look at these two drivers. Absolutely showing off the skill here right now, folks. Great battle. Doug's going to just edge out Piggums here. So great job by these two drivers, and kudos to Doug. Doug is not feeling well today either, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing a fantastic job out there battling with these guys. That was a fantastic side-by-side battle through the final 4 corners of the racetrack there. No contact made, no time lost, and these guys are on it. Ibra now closing in that slipstream. So this has now become a three-way battle for the lead. And that's all it takes. Two guys start battling in these MX-5s, and that allows the rest of the pack to catch up. Oh, a little bit of contact there from Piggums to Doug. Definitely unintentional there. And everybody is all good. Ibra had to brake a little bit harder than he was anticipating there. He almost lost that car, but he did a good job of staying behind these guys as well. So, whew, this battle up front is juicy. We got 3 pro drivers, first, second, and third. We got a yellow flag up ahead of the leaders here. Oh, and Chip Reese, woo, not the best spot to be on the track there. Make sure everybody gets around him here. Okay, Chip is back on the go here. Fantastic. All right. So great job by Chip there to keep it on the brakes, to keep that car going all the way across there. And whew, these drivers are definitely struggling with these MX-5s a little bit here today. We're seeing guys that are in positions we don't typically see them in these races. So back on board with our race leader here, Doug Barrow. Piggums still chasing. Piggums got that a little bit wrong there on corner mid and just a little bit sideways. So maybe the car's starting to get a little bit tight on the center of corners here. Again, you know, race cars, you have to set them up. And here we go. Whoop, wrong way. Battle for P1 all over again. Coming into T1. Who's going to get it? Whoa. And it's drag race time. Here we go. Piggums gets the lead. Just getting the job done there. Ibra's going to try and take advantage. He's going to try and follow Piggums through here. Doug potentially going to lose 2 spots here in this battle. Ibra's got the inside coming into corner 3. Oh, and a little bit of contact there from Doug to Ibra. Ooh, Ibra just going a little too far to the left there under braking, and he just clipped, it looked like it clipped Doug's front quarter panel there, and they spun him out. Barr managing to get through that. Really, really unfortunate there for Ibra, but still P4. So he actually came out of that not in the worst spot. He's losing only a position, but still really unfortunate incident there for Ibra, as he had to move on Doug, and he just pinched a little too far left there, and he turned into the driver he was trying to pass, and it spun him out. Supra making the move on 7. Oh, sorry, passing Chip Reese here. Chip Reese just having an unfortunate incident there, but he's still going. Keep going, my man. Don't give in. That's the whole point of racing, is to get those laps in and get that experience in, my guy. You do your thing, my guy. 750 here, and again with that beautiful colorful Twitch car there. We loved that car last time around, and there she is again on track. Usually you just have to go once in the menu. TV mode will work after that. Yeah, I just don't want to leave the action. That's all wonky. Hairraiser here in P7. So he's made up some distance. He was in P11 after the spin, so he's gotten all the way back up at the P7 here. We got Type R down in P8, and he has got somebody close behind in Trone Colby. You can see Tap there too now, starting to catch back up on the field after his incident. And Trone's just going to get it done with a very quick, hard inside pass on Type R. They're great move by Trone Colby. And Trone Colby showing us why he's doing very, very well in the amateur division here this season. And we'll get those standings up for you guys a little after the midway points of the race here. But Trone Colby absolutely taking that position with authority with a great pass there. And we love to see it because, ooh, and a great response there by Type R. And here we go. Battle time, folks. It doesn't matter where we are in the field with these MX-5s. There's battles at Tap. Taking advantage. Tap got a great run out of the corner, 3 wide. Here we go. Woohoo! Who's going to get the position? Who's going to give? Trone's going to slip in behind Tap. Trone's going to give here. Trone's like, you know what? This is a bad idea. I'm going to back out of this. Live to fight another day here. Tap going to get up into P8. Type R's going to drop to 9th. And Trone's going to drop into 10th here. But I think Trone made the right call there. He backed out, kept everything safe, kept it right. And lives, again, like I said, lives to race another lap. So he's taking a look on Type R here. And a little later on the brakes than Type R. Should get that position from Type R here. And he does. So great job by Trone Colby. Getting the job done on Type R. And I'm sure this battle is far from over here. But some great battling here in the mid-pack as well, ladies and gentlemen, by all these drivers here. We got McBlunt having a pretty good race here too, sitting in P11. He's just behind these guys. Mike is chilling. Watch this guy. He's one of those. You never know what Mike is going to bust out for a strategy, and they always seem to work out for him. So hopefully that's what he's thinking about here today. Pappy in 13th. Ooh, 1 second penalty, unfortunately, there for Pappy. And Reese here doing his thing, man. He's cruising. He's about a lap down, but that's all right. It happens to the best of us. Every racer has a good day and a bad day. Peekabah, I'm in. Ha, Honky, my dude. Much love, Honk. We appreciate you. All right. Just checking everything out, making sure the connection is nice and stable all across the board. Again, we are live on GT45 Gaming's Facebook, YouTube, and the GTRC community YouTube channel here as well, ladies and gentlemen. So lots of options to view your race here today. But Pigham's got a decent little lead here. He's not quite got that slipstream broke yet from Doug, but I mean 0.6 of a second. That's the biggest gap we've seen the leader have pretty much all day so far today on any other driver in the field. So battle is far from over here though. We can see Bar 27 is really starting to catch up to Doug here, but Bar's got that penalty, so unfortunately for Bar, he's going to lose all that time. But he race on. So first in the pro division is Pigham's. Pigham's is a pro driver. You can't see that on his banner, obviously, but he's a reserve today. So first in the pro division here today, Doug Bro is second in the pro division and second overall in our race. We got Bar 27, who is third overall and first in the amateur division here in our race so far today. Ibra is fourth, but sitting third overall for the pro division, and he's in that absolutely retro Kodak car. Love the Kodak car. Absolutely. Cheers, Onk. We do appreciate that. Deliveries do look amazing here. Supra here in P5. Pro driver sitting fourth overall for the pros. 750, also an amateur driver and sitting second overall for our amateur division here. And again, in that really good looking Twitch TV car here. Hair Razor pro driver, sitting fifth overall currently for the pro division. I'm sure have not heard the last from Hair Razor yet today. Tap sitting sixth overall for pro division here as well. Got a little battle here between Type R and Trone Kobe. These two are still battling, and this is for third place overall for the amateur division. So currently, Trone Kobe just nipping that position away from Type R. So Type R is fourth overall for amateurs, and right in behind we see McBlunt, who's sitting fifth overall for our amateurs here today. We got Mike here, who is a little bit off pace, or had an incident obviously on the racetrack here, sitting seventh overall for our pro guys. Pappy is sitting sixth overall for our AMs here today. And Chip Reese rounding out our AM field in P7 for our AMs. You can see Trone Kobe and some of the group coming in on him here, but ooh, having a little bit of issues with that MX5 here today is Chip Reese, but that's okay. It's all about the learning. Alright, so Doug back in the lead now, and you can see Pigham's closing in. There we go, so we do have a pit stop being made by Bar 27. So, TV cameras are en route. Fantastic. $750 going through, so Bar 27 and Super are going to be our first two drivers to come in. 15% fuel in that car for Bar. He's got pretty good fuel load in there. And of course putting on them soft tires. We see Super here, much different story. 2% fuel left in that car. And of course a new fresh of... No, he's not going to take a fresh set. Whoa, interesting. He's just going to take some fuel and he's going here. So, interesting strategy here from Supra. So, Mike's just coming around these final corners here. This should help him grab a spot or at least get close to this driver. As you can see, Supra just coming out of pit lane there. So, he's going to be about 8-9 seconds behind still. But the battle is here for first, second, and third place. The battle has been here all race long for these three positions. Ibra's a little bit out of this battle here currently, 5 seconds behind. So that little bit of incident between him and Doug Bro going into turn 3 a couple laps ago there, where he just pinched a little too far over. Really hurt his pace a little bit, but he's still in this fight. Again, we're only 21.5 minutes into a 60-minute race, so lots of racing left here today, and Doug and Pigham's are they're just battling. There's no love lost here between these two drivers today, and it's every other lap these guys seem to be swapping our positions here. So let's see what happens here. Let's see. It looks like Pigham's has decided to just sit in behind Doug here right now and just play it smart. Try to build that gap on the third place driver, Ibra. Ibra has gained a second on these guys. We got 750 now coming into pit lane with 6% fuel in his car. Hair Racer's coming in with 7, and Trollen 1% fuel, almost running on fumes here. So we're going to see these guys most certainly probably take tires and fuel, but you never know. We have seen multiple strategies from our drivers here so far today, so we're going to see if Mike's going to pit here. He may have pit a little earlier on, and we've seen him do this in the past as well, is pit really early, and then his pit strategy is just completely different than the rest of the group. And I think what that does is it just allows him to sit in clean air and just run his laps, and that may not necessarily be the worst thing for it. And like I said, it's worked out really well for him in past races here as well, running this different strategy than the majority of the drivers on track. So clearly he put some time and some practice in to figure these strategies out, and like I said, they tend to work out pretty well for him. So Type R in 5th. So there we go. We do now have our leaders coming in. So Piggums was able to save a couple percent more fuel than Doug on that stint there. So Doug's going to come in with 2% fuel. Piggums is going to come in with 4. And Ibra's coming in with 1. So, I mean, Ibra, all three of these drivers, they had no choice. They had to pit. So, where is Tap? Tap's 22 seconds behind these drivers. He's coming into pit lane as well with 2% fuel. Type R is also coming in. McBlunt's coming in. So, the majority of our field is starting to come into pit lane here now. So, Bar 27 was the first driver to make a pit stop here. So, he's going to be the first driver trying to leapfrog these guys, going for the undercut. However, I think that was a bit of an early pit stop from Bar 27, but it's kind of looking like this is going to be a two-stop race here today. So Bar 27 jumping all kinds of positions here. Let's see if he gains or loses here. He's back up at the P3. So he gains a position on the undercut essentially there. Going into P3, you can see Ibra's got an unfortunate 3-second pit line infraction there. So that's going to definitely drop Ibra off the pace here and off this pack, which is really unfortunate for Ibra. And he's going to lose that position to Piggums, but that next driver's still 10 seconds behind, so he should be okay on that. Alright, so let's get through our field. We got Chips just coming in right now to make his stop. So Doug jumping out of pit lane quite a bit earlier than the rest of the drivers. Now this is all strategy. You can definitely guess that he most certainly probably short fueled, and maybe he did or didn't take tires. If I had to guess, he probably took tires, but I mean, we can look. We can look. Let's go see what everybody's doing here. He did not. Okay. So we're seeing some interesting strategy here from our drivers. Bar up into P2 here now. Piggums up into P3 with Ibra serving that penalty. So interesting variation of strategies here. Some drivers opted to take tires, some did not. We're going to be seeing Pappy obviously making a pit stop here in the very immediate future. Obviously, oops, wrong one. He's flashing red in the fuel there. He may be able to get one more time around, but not worth the risk at this point in the race. 27 minutes, just short of 27 minutes into this race here now. And we're most certainly going to be seeing a second stop by all of these drivers, is what it looks like. The question is, when does each driver decide to make that stop? And is it going to be a benefit, or is it going to cost them? That's the big question here now. Strategy is going to be a big play in this race, clearly. Doug doing what Doug exactly wanted to do, was get out front and get a good gap. He's got 6 seconds right now on the rest of the field. The problem is he going to try and run these tires the rest of the race, or is he going to have to make a stop for tires at some point? We'll have to see. Bar 27 sitting second overall, first in our amateur division here as well. So you can see these guys are just cruising. The amateurs aren't slow by any stretch of the imagination here in the series. These guys are always mixing it up with our pro drivers here throughout these races as well. This is round 4 or 5 as well, ladies and gentlemen. We only have one more round left after this in 2 weeks here. That'll be it for these MX5s. So, and our GT3 championship is wrapping up here just after that as well. So lots happening here. We're going to see some new stuff coming from GTRC 6 to 7 weeks time, maybe a little sooner. Some new series coming up, some new events coming up for registration. So you guys are definitely going to want to stay tuned to the socials for that. Alright, so Doug had a 6.2 second lead last time we were on him. He's now down to 5.7. So, Bar 27 has cut a little bit into that lead, and he's got Piggums right in tow. Piggums there with a half-second penalty, unfortunate for Piggums, as he'll have to serve that next time he comes around the racetrack. He'll be serving that shortly, actually. I thought they were in a different spot of the racetrack for some reason. Alright, so Piggums is going to lose some time here. Now the question is how much time? He's going to lose the slipstream from Bar 27 here for sure, but is it going to be enough for Ibra to close in to start pulling back in on our third place driver Piggums? That's the bigger question here. Is Ibra's still 4 seconds behind. It's only a half-second penalty. He's not going to gain, obviously, that much time. And then we got 9 seconds to 5th place driver, so we are spaced out a little bit here. Hair Razor's now moved himself back up into P6 here overall as well, only a couple seconds behind Supra. 750 in that Twitch car there in P7. They're spaced out but not too entirely far apart from each other at the same time yet. Tap here in P8. Tro and Colby now up into 9th place here. Him and Type R have just been having this absolutely spectacular battle all race long, these two guys. McBlunt here in 11th. Mike still sitting in P12. We got Pappy in 13th and Chip rounding out our field here today. We almost had a full field here. 14 drivers on track. We'd love to see it. Hey, appreciate you, Onk. Thanks for stopping in, my guy. Nice seeing you again, my man. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon. Alright, so, Doug's kind of off all on his own right now. 5.7 second gap from second and third place here. So, let's just sit with Bar 27 and Piggums here for a minute. And see if Piggums is going to opt to make a move on Bar here. You can just hear the sound of the MX5s going around the racetrack in the background. We love it. I think Piggums is just opting to just kind of chill out behind Bar 27 right now and not battle with him. Maybe try to work together to help, of course, catch Doug up in first place. And, of course, maybe save a little bit of tire and fuel in the process. Help that pit strategy out moving forward in the race. Ibra here with a half-second penalty now. Ibra has just absolutely been getting hammered with penalties. Supra here in 5th place. Having a really good race here today. Hair Razor in 6th chasing, not able to really close that gap up currently. We got 750 in 7th place. Amateur driver, so you can see the mixture here. We got a pro driver there with Tap in 8th. We've got Tro and Colby, who's an AM driver, in 9th, battling with Type R. Now Type R, something must have happened to Type R. He's lost a little bit of time there in 10th place. Maybe back marker traffic. He's going, you see Chip actually going into pit lane there to get some fuel and tires potentially. McBlunt is lagging a little bit, but that's nothing out of the ordinary. We're used to seeing that. And Pappy with a half-second penalty. So you can see some of these drivers really struggling with the penalties here at the Red Bull Ring. Again, the stewards are relentless here, man. They just they want it kept in between the curbs, and if you can't keep it in between the curbs, they're going to slow you down for it. Indeed, indeed. Hey, keep flying, my man. Keep flying. Those times you keep putting up are absolutely blazing fast, dude. And you can see Pigham's had an opportunity to make a move there to stick his nose on the inside of bar 27 there, but again, just opting not to do it. So Pigham's is being a team player here with bar 27 right now, and again, to try and close that gap on Doug up in front. Ibra in 4th place, not helping his cause any here with that half-second penalty. And you can see the drivers pulling over to the right side of the racetrack to serve those penalties. That is the right thing to do here. Hairraiser in 6th place. You can see 7th, not too far behind there as well, with 750. So definitely some spaced out drivers here at the moment, but there's still lots of drivers close enough to each other for battling here. So Chip, my guy, Chip Reese, my man, hit me up on DM after the broadcast. Let's have a chit chat, my guy. Nothing bad, my dude, nothing bad. Let's just have a chat. Let's just have a chat. I think I can help you, my man, I really do. Bar 27 here in 2nd place. Pigham's all up in his business still. It's you know, being the lead driver of Bar 27, obviously he feels comfortable at this point now with Pigham's behind him, knowing that Pigham's really isn't trying to battle with him, but there is always that thought in the back of my mind, okay, he's working together with me right now, but when is he going to decide that he's done working together with me and make the move? So you're always got that in the back of your mind as that lead car when you're in a little teamwork effort here at some point in the race. It's always sitting in the back of the driver's mind that's up in front of the 2 or 3 cars that are pushing to try and catch the driver up ahead of him. When is he going to attempt to make the move? So bar 27, you know, comfortable right now with Pigham's behind him, but all at the same time probably not all that comfortable in the back of his mind, knowing that at some point Pigham's is going to probably try and make this move. Bar 27 also currently the fastest lap on the racetrack with a 138.957. That was actually yep. Lost my train of thought there for a second. Woo, look at me go. Alright, Super still in 5th place. Hairraiser. Let's go through our divisions here. Doug, 1st overall in the race, 1st in the pros. Bar 27, 2nd overall in the race, 1st for the AMs. Pigham's 3rd overall, 2nd for the pros. Ibra is 4th overall and 3rd for the pros. So our podiums currently on track are Doug, Pigham's, and Ibra for pro division. We got Supra here in P5, pro driver as well, sitting 4th overall. Hairraiser pro driver sitting 5th overall. 750 is a AM driver sitting 2nd overall for the AMs. Tap is a pro driver sitting 6th overall for the pros. Trone rounding out our podium for the AMs. So bar 27, YZFR 750 is sitting 2nd overall, and Trone Kobe rounding out that podium so far for the amateur side. A little bit of damage on the front end of that car that you see on Trone Kobe. Type R in 4th in the AMs with McBlunt just behind in 11th. Mike in 12th here for the pros. Pappy in 13th place, and I believe that is 5th overall, 6th overall for the AMs. And it looks like we've lost Chip. So having to retire that MX5 here today, having some kind of issue with that car, and they've had to put it behind the wall, and down a amateur driver here today. So down to 13 racers. And we just don't have any real battles brewing at the moment. So what I'm going to do is we're going to jump on board with Doug. And then we're going to get some standings up in the stream. And we'll go over some standings in a minute. All right. We got a little bit of a battle kind of starting to brew in that mid-pack there. We got Pigham's and bar 27 here working together. Ibra's all alone, Supra's all alone. Hair Razor's kind of alone with 750 getting close. And then we've got this 9-10 battle going on here. So Tap dropping down to 11th. Not sure what happened there. But let's jump on board with Doug as he does a lap around Red Bull Ring in the fog here. And then when we come back, we'll go over those standings for everybody. Alright, great onboard shot with our current race leader, Doug Barrow. 5-second lead over the rest of the field here currently. And as you can see, Piggums has now gotten around bar 27 as well. So, most likely what happened there is bar 27 just made a little mistake and Piggums just went around him. And now basically the roles are reversed. Now Piggums in the lead. And bar 27 is hopefully going to get caught back up to push. So, Piggums now trying to chase down Doug Barrow and Purple. He is almost 2/10 Purple here, so we're going to stick with Piggums on the rest of this lap here to see if he can steal that fastest lap from bar 27. Fastest lap currently in the race is not quite as fast as our fastest qualifying lap, but it's getting close. It is definitely getting close. So race pace is proving to be pretty close to what we're seeing for qualifying pace here currently on the racetrack. You see a lot of these drivers actually really getting the rear end of these cars out a little bit, and that actually helps get them around some of these corners faster. So the only downside of that is, of course, the tire wear. You suffer from having the rear end of the car a little bit loose and sliding across the asphalt. That's definitely going to chew down on some of the rubber a little bit. So he wasn't Purple load. He gets super wide around the corner there, and that is going to be a penalty for Piggums. Ooh, big penalty too for Piggums, a 1 second penalty. So that's going to give bar 27 the race lead back, or back after he serves that penalty. So Doug diving into pit lane here. So this is where the strategies are really going to start to factor in here. Now we're 19 minutes remaining in this race, and we're starting to see the drivers making that second set of pit stops. Some drivers took tires last time, some just took fuel. The ones that didn't take tires last time, we're most certainly going to have to take tires this time, and probably a little splash of fuel. So the drivers that took fresh tires might not have to take fresh tires this time around, they only got to take a splash of fuel. Should tighten the field back up. We'll have to see how it all plays out. But again, Piggums sitting there with a just dreaded 1 second penalty here as they're coming around that hairpin corner in the midsection of the racetrack here. And we're coming into the S's here now. So right after these S's and they come up the hill, we'll see Piggums swing over to the right, serve that 1 second penalty, and we'll see Barr drive off into the distance, basically. And there goes Barr in the race lead. So Am Driver leading the race overall currently here in the race today. Oh, but Barr opting to go into pit lane. Okay, so undercut for Barr. Doug essentially going for the ultimate undercut as he undercut these guys last lap, but now Barr trying to undercut Pigham's here. So interesting. 9% fuel left in that car. Ibra's also opting to come into pit lane here as well. We got Hairraiser and 750, and 750 has absolutely closed in on Hairraiser, and Hairraiser into the pit lane. So we know Doug's not going to pit. He just came out of pit lane. So let's stay on with Doug here and see where he comes back out in comparison here to bar 27. And Doug does get back out in front of bar 27 here. Bar's coming out right now. So what is that time difference? We're looking at about 4 seconds. So Bar gained about a second on Doug there. And Ibra's on his way out here now. McBlunt just coming up to speed here as well. So let's see what's going to happen coming into turn 3 here. McBlunt's just going to sit in behind. Ibra is going to defend this position, of course. Rightfully, as you would suspect, he's going to defend this position. With only 16 minutes remaining in the race, every position matters now, and of course McBlunt is lagging a little bit. The drivers are pretty used to this. This is one of our drivers here in the series that unfortunately just doesn't have just the best internet connection due to where he lives. And it's very fortunate that the rest of the drivers in the field are okay with still racing around him with those conditions. So again, that's just a community, ladies and gentlemen, and great community here at the GTRC. We say it week in and week out, and they show it on track week in and week out as well. So, you know, I don't even really need to say anything more than that. So we got Pigham's coming in here. He's got 30 seconds on the field. 750 is also going to have to come in. This is going to be close. This is going to be very, very close between Doug and Pigham's here. And Pigham's just comes out behind Doug. So the overcut working out pretty good for Pigham's here. As that actually got him within a couple seconds of our race leader. Bar 27 right in behind in 3rd place here. McBlunt now sitting in 4th place overall. So it is a little bit of a different strategy. Could really pay off for him here today. Currently sitting with a half-second penalty. Ibra's is behind by 9 seconds. We got Hairraiser up at the P6 here. Hairraiser's had a fantastic recovery. We see 750 coming out of pit lane right now. That should give Tap 7th place. It does. Tap just comes out in 7th. Oh, 3-second penalty for 750 for coming across that pit line on entry. And that is going to drop him back at least another position to Supra, who also has a half-second track limit penalty in behind. Tyrone Colby in 10th place here, falling a little bit off the pace here in the middle part of this race. Not sure why, maybe just settling in. Type R here in 11th. These two have had a great battle all race long. It's been a lot of fun watching Type R and Tyrone Colby having their battles here throughout the race today for sure. So off to the race lead, 1.2 seconds from 2nd place driver Pigham's. And Barr is only 1.6 off of Pigham's, so we're probably going to be seeing a battle for position change up on those podiums at some point here. We got McBlunt coming around. He's going to serve that half-second penalty here, but he has a pretty good gap. He is in a good spot here. He's got 14 seconds from 3rd place driver, but he's also got 10 seconds from the next guy who's trying to get that position from him in Ibra and Hairraiser. But there is a gaggle of cars coming in behind McBlunt here with Ibra, Hairraiser in 6th, Tap in 7th, Supra in 8th, 750 in 9th, and Trone right there in 10th as well. It might be a back marker mixed in there with them actually. I thought that was Trone in right in the backside of that, but Trone's a little bit, and Trone got it a little bit wrong there. It's alright, keep it going, my dude. Just keep pushing it here. That's going to give Type R position, so Type R moving back up into P10. And here we go again with these two, Type R and Tyrone Colby, battling for position. That battle is very important because it's also position for the division. So it definitely matters. And with that being said, I want to bring the standings up for you guys, but we got some stuff happening here. We got Pigham's taking a look for the race lead. Tucked right up in behind Doug. And it is, let's go. It is game time. Here we go. So, Doug defending. Pigham's looking for a way around. Bar 27 going, yes, battle you two. Battle. Please do, so I can catch up to you and get my nose in this battle. So, first and second place definitely in the battle. 12.5 minutes remaining. It's on like Donkey Kong now, folks. It is on like Donkey Kong. And then we got Bar 27. Bar 27 potentially in a decent spot here. Those guys battle too hard and make a mistake. Bar 27 could very well just take advantage and move himself right into the lead of the race there. So he definitely wants to get tucked up in behind those guys there for sure. Get some, Pappy. Keep her going, my dude. All right, so Mr. Doug in the lead, but he has got Pigham's all up in his business here. And Pigham's is not going to let him go. Here we go, inside corner here. He's going to be outside for the turn. Can he get it done on the outside? Tough corner to get an outside move done on. No, Doug's going to get that inside track. Pigham's just kind of backed out a little bit. He's like, yeah, you know what? This isn't the right time for this. We're just gonna let you have that. We're gonna make it happen somewhere else. So here we go, battle back on. But that's allowed Bar 27 start to close up. He's knocking that time down little bit by little bit as we get around each corner of the racetrack here. Eber's pushing. Eber has now gotten into 4th place. Hair-Razor now up into P5. So Hair-Razor just sitting off podium here for Pro Division. We got Tap here in 6th. We've got Supra in 7th. Supra's going to be, Supra is a pro driver, 750 in 8th. So he's our 2nd place amateur driver here currently actually on the racetrack. And McBlunt in 9th place actually sitting as our 3rd place driver here. So great job by those guys. We got Type R and Tro and Colby just behind them guys battling for 4th and 5th overall in the division. Mike in the pro. And Pappy, our final amateur driver here today. Of course, Chip Reese having to retire his MX5 a few laps ago due to mechanical failure. Really unfortunate, but hey, cars break down, folks. That's racing. All right, so back to our race leaders, because boy, oh boy, we have got a battle developing here. Doug in the lead, doing everything he can to hold off Pigham's. Pigham's putting all kinds of pressure on Doug, waiting for him to make the mistake, waiting for him to crack. Doug is not going to give it up easily. Pigham's looking on the inside, coming into the corner. And Doug just going a little bit later in the brakes than Pigham's did there and just managing to hold that line. So still remains in the lead. But now you can see Bar is just in this battle. That's it. There's no shaking him now. We got P1, P2, and P3 with 9.5 minutes remaining in this race. Let's get back through our field. As you can see, Hair-Razor is starting to close up on Eber here as well. All right, back to the lead. This is where it's at here for this race today. It's definitely a battle for the lead today, folks. And we're going to stick with this battle here as this race progresses towards the end now. A little bit of contact between the two drivers there. Pigham's and Doug. Ooh, Pigham's got it a little bit wrong. Doug responding back on the outside. Pigham's tucks back in. Bar 27 still sitting there in 3rd place, looking, waiting. Here we go. Bar 27 tucked right up underneath Pigham's here. Not what Pigham's ideally wanted. Oh, Pigham sticks a nose in there. Doesn't quite get it done. That was a hard defense on the 3rd place driver. Not necessarily an offensive move by Pigham's there. That was more defensive than it was offensive for sure. As Pigham's is in a tough spot here. Sitting in P2, literally tucked up behind P1, and you got P3 right up underneath your rear bumper. Tough spot for Pigham's here. And here we go. Race on, and this is for all the marbles here in round 4. Who's got what it takes? Pigham's going to try it again on the outside here. Bar 27 is just going to sit there. He's like, okay, I'm going to wait to see which one we're following through. Of course, Doug has the optimal line coming through the corner here. Oh, and Piggums has got the run. Can Piggums get it done? Here we go. Drag race down straight. Piggums in P1. Great job by Piggums on the outside of turn 3. Not an easy move, folks. And great respect given by Doug Barrow in that battle there. And now Barr is jockeying for position. Doug taking a look on the inside on Piggums there, seeing how Piggums was going to react. Piggums just semi-defending there, trying to still keep the optimal line around the S's here. Here we go. Bar 27 taking a look now. Second place on Doug. He's got the run here coming through the S's. Can he hold it as Doug's got the inside of this corner? No. Doug's going to still hold P2 from Bar, but Bar's still taking a look. Back on the inside of the next S. Can he get it done? A little bit of contact between the two drivers. Doug is just holding that by the slimmest of margins, and this is fantastic for Piggums. This is what Piggums wants to see right now. He got into first place, and he sees these two battling. Might be able to get a gap here. Piggums with a 1 second lead currently. He's just got these guys out of slipstream range, but Doug is absolutely hounding back in here. And here we go. This is not done, folks. We still have 7 minutes remaining. We are going to see 4 to 5 more laps of this crazy front battle here. But Piggums doing everything he can to break this slip. Scorching that MX5 around corner 1, half sideways there, just pushing this car to its absolute limits right now. He wants this win. Doug chasing. Bar 27 is all over Doug right now. Some great racing here by our top 3. Let's get on to second place Doug here. Piggums has a little bit of breathing room currently, so I guess the big question is Bar 27 and Doug work together here for about the next 2 or 3 laps, try to close that gap up to Piggums and get that fresh battle going back for P1? Or are these two just going to say, nah, you know what, let's battle for this position? It's entirely up to these two drivers right here. Bar 27 being the chasing driver, what is he going to do? Whew, what a tight race. I'm sweating, Chad. This is absolutely intense here up there in the front of this pack. Now, this isn't 3 pro drivers battling here either, ladies and gentlemen. This is 2 pros and an amateur driver battling for the overall top 3 positions in this race today. This is some fantastic racing we're seeing here at Red Bull Ring, as always. Red Bull Ring is just a fantastic racetrack. Absolutely love commentating and racing here. It just provides for such great racing. And we've seen this battle settle right down here currently. As I know, Doug's not going to be satisfied with the P2 here, and Bar 27 is not going to be satisfied with the P3. He wants more. So what are these guys going to do here? I mean, you can see Piggums is doing everything he can. He just cannot shake Doug in second place. He's got him far enough behind. He can't make the move, but he is not getting rid of him. And in an instant where he may pick up a half-second penalty right there for track limits, that's crucial. That is crucial. It looks like he got away with it. That was very close to being a track limit penalty there, and Piggums manages to not get the track limit there, so it's good for Piggums, as that would really put that P1 under pressure here by Doug and Bar 27, and they are closing. They're in that slipstream, and I said earlier in the broadcast that slipstream in these MX5s is big time. It matters. It makes a difference, and you see it here. These guys are absolutely closing in on our first place driver, Piggums. So, here we go. We're down to like 3 laps left to go here, and this battle is just intense. We have other little mini battles developing on the racetrack here, but this is the one that really is just absolutely kicking off. All right, let's go see real quick. We got Hellraiser in 4th, Ebert chasing in 5th with a penalty. We got Tap in 6th. We've got Supra in 7th. We've got 750 in 8th. They're all right there. McBlunt in 9th, Trone in 10th. Type R in 11th. We've got Mike in 12th and Pappy rounding out the field. Let's get back to the front of the pack. As you can see, actually the leader's just catching up to Pappy here for the first time today. So Pappy just at risk of going a lap down here, and he has got a battle, and he's like, yeah, no, I am getting the hell out of the way of this. And Pappy's just like, go on, boys, get some. So Pappy giving way to T1 here, which is the right thing to do in this situation, as he has got all 3 of the leaders absolutely barreling down on him. Great job by Pappy there. Great respect again by this community to each other, as he knows there is an absolute intense battle for P1, 2, and 3 happening right in front of him here. He's got a front row seat to this battle, and Bar taking a look. No, Doug taking a look on Pickham's, goes in late on the brakes. He's gonna get it done. A little bit of contact. Bar 27 trying to follow through, can't get it done. Pickham's back into second place. Boy, did Doug make a move there. What a calculated move by Doug, getting the job done. And moving up into P1, Pickham's back to P2. Now Bar's taking a look on the inside of corner 5 here. Is he going to get it done? No. Pickham's just goes in late on the brakes and manages to negate that move. Pickham's back on the chase, and here we go. Whew. Wow, this is how we love to see it, ladies and gentlemen. What a battle for this race win. These drivers have got to be sweating bullets right now. They have got to, hands are sore, their arms are sore, their feet are sore, their hips are sore. They're gripping that steering wheel with everything they've got right now. And every single millisecond around this racetrack is just nothing but pressure packed for these 3 drivers. And wow, what a fantastic job they really are doing. And you see Bar got a good run on Pickham's there, a little bit of a push to help. Woo! And Bar 27 with a 38.868 now, fastest lap on track. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have 2 laps remaining. White flag for our race leaders. Let's go. Doug, Pickham's, and Bar all getting a little bit sideways out of that corner. These guys have absolutely thrown care and caution out the window. They are sending it. Let's get it. Pickham's on the outside of Doug again into turn 3. And is he going to get it done this time? Ooh, side by side, side by side. Here we go, here we go. No, Doug's going to hold it. Ooh, drag race down into turn 4 and 5. Here we go. Side by side are these 2 drivers, Pickham's and Doug, and ooh, Pickham's just tucks in behind. Bar 27's like, dang, I don't know where to be. Who do I pick? And Doug defending turn 5. Here we go into the S's. Oh, we're in for 8 race finish today, folks. Oh, we are in for 8 race finish. Ooh, what do we got? Doug with a half-second track limit penalty. Oh, that is not what Doug needed right here. Pickham's is going to take the lead here, folks. Doug tucks right back in behind. Bar 27 still there. This is not over. This is not over. Oh, Doug floats really wide, and so does Pickham's. I think we're seeing penalties for both drivers there. This could be good for Bar 27. Pickham's does not manage to get a penalty floating wide there. Absolutely crazy. Pickham's has got the graces of the stewards on his side here currently right now. He just needs to keep this tight, and he does. Great turn 1 there by Pickham's. Doug holding a half-second track penalty. This is huge for Bar 27 now. Bar needs to get nipped into Doug here. Whew, what an absolutely amazing fight between our first, second, and third place drivers here today. Oh, wow. I don't even know what to say right now. Congratulations to Hairraiser just coming across with a 4th place finish, and Ibra with a 5th place finish. So Hairraiser's just going to squeak out that P3 for the pro guys. Supra finishing in 6th and 750 finishing in 7th. So 750 getting a 2nd place amateur division spot. Great job to 750. We got to stick with our race leaders here, folks. And what happened to Bar 27? I think Bar maybe fuel saving possibly there. As you can see, he's really falling off the pace here. He had an opportunity to grab another position. Tap coming in 8th place there as well. I do apologize to all our drivers there. Not catching you guys coming across the line, but big time battle here going up in front. So yeah, is what it is, my guys. We got to go where the action is. And Pickham's is going to bring this one home here, I think. Oh, but he's looking at a potential penalty there. Oh, boy. And we're going to have penalties. There is going to be penalties to sort out these finishing positions. Pickham coming across in the lead. So did Doug. Both drivers had a penalty. And bar 27 coming across with a third place finish and an amateur race win. So Pigham's in first place overall and first for the pros. We got Doug in second place overall and second for the pros. We got Bar finishing third overall today and first for our AMs. Hair Razor will take out that third place spot for our pro division. Ibra finishing fifth and fourth for pros. Supra is finished in sixth overall, fifth for the pros. 750 grabbing P2 for our amateur drivers here today. Tap in sixth place here for our pros, and Tro and Kobe will round out our top three for our AMs. So bar 27, 750, and Tro and Kobe, congratulations to our amateur drivers here today. And of course Pigham's, Doug, and Hair Razor for rounding out that top three in our pro division. Whew, what a race. Absolutely intense race finish there as Pigham's just edges those guys out. And boy, oh boy, whew, these guys are going to have lots to talk about in this race. Absolutely intense race here by all our drivers today. And it was just a crazy series of events here at Red Bull Ring, as we always expect to see here. Great moves, great passing, great battling, some spins, some accidents. One car had to drop out, had to retire the car early due to mechanical failure. These drivers just absolutely full sending and pushing everything out of these cars they could here today, and just putting on a absolutely fantastic race, not only amongst each other, but for all the fans there in Austria, and of course all of us viewing here live at the GTRC YouTube and GT45 Gaming Facebook and YouTube. So what a absolute bang up race. That was fantastic. Pigham's with the win and pole position, so great jobs to Pigham, stepping in as reserve here today. Alright, so with that being said, we didn't get a chance to get this up for you guys before all that started kicking off. So here's our standings coming into round 4 today, though. This was after our Deep Forest race last 2 weekends ago. So in our pro side, we still have Doug holding the lead with 59 points. Hair Razor very close behind with 53. You see Mike Mates there with 41, Ibra with 32, Super with 22 points, rounding out the top 5 guys in our pro division. When we move over to our amateur side of things here, we do have Tro and Kobe sitting in the lead with 52 points, Type R sitting second with 44, Pappy with 39, Unseen Throne with 28, and Anto rounding out our top 5 there for the amateur division coming into today's race. Notable mention is Bar and 750. They're both just behind with 20 and 17 points. Gonna potentially grab some positions in the overall standings here, with a couple drivers not making the field today. So with that being said, we're going to go and jump up into the drivers chat, and we're going to get some podium interviews going. What do you guys think? Hey, what a race. Absolutely fantastic job by all the drivers on track today. And wow, that was just crazy. And we got Boo on. My bad, Boo. Well, hello, gentlemen. That's some that was some crazy racing, my guys. Some crazy racing. Absolutely, absolutely. Great action out of there for. All right, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, wow, lots to talk about today. What a crazy race. We've seen the amateurs mixing it up with the pro drivers again all race long, which is fantastic to see. That's what we hope to see in these multi-divisional races, and we definitely seen that today. And notable is Bar 27 again, just putting lots of pressure on those front runners in the pro divisions. But we're gonna move to our amateur guys first, and we're gonna hit our third place driver Trone Kobe. And you're still here, Trone? Yes.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Awesome. All right, so we've seen you having some pretty big success so far here in the MX5 series. Of course, leading in the amateur division in the standings coming into the race today, and not exactly having the best finish that you were probably looking for today, but still coming out with that nice third place finish. So you're going to pick up some good points here, pad up those leading points in the standings moving into the final round. How was the race for you today? You started off really good. You had some really great pace, and then you just kind of settled into your race and just maintained. So, what was going through your head for you today?
To be honest, I don't know what happened to my pace mid race. Especially, I had some kind of weird glitch going on. My brakes, my ABS was blinking, so I had to pit and reset my wheel. And I had some questionable incidents. It seems like my pace was falling off, and then it started to pick up right at the end. So I don't know if I have any equipment issues or not. But I'm glad to pick up third place.
Well, and absolutely. And when you made your pit stop, did it get better for you?
Yeah, it got better. I mean, I was still going off the pace. I don't know if it was the track or what, but it definitely gotten better.
Well, you can attribute that to the pit crew back there. The crew works really hard on these cars to keep these cars fine tuned for you guys and bringing it in, and they made a bit of an adjustment that made the car better for you. So, nothing wrong with that. I mean, again, still a very strong third place finish for you. And you and Type R were just having a race long battle. You two were just basically nose to tail pretty much the whole race. How was that battle between you two? You guys looked like you were having a blast out there.
Yeah, it was a pretty decent battle. I must admit that. It was definitely fun. Shout out to him, but it's having a good battle.
Absolutely. Well, again, mate, congratulations on another solid race finish here for you today. Finishing, I believe it was 10th overall in the field as well. So, third place finish, again, really going to help you moving into the final round for this series with a fairly good points lead on Type R, who, again, you spent most of the race battling today. So, how are you feeling going into the final round?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm gonna work on the final track and hopefully I do better than when I was doing qualifying. That's for sure.
All right. Well, we love to see you there, and we can definitely tell since me and Bufu Shidara had mentioned that you may be ready for that next tier of pace. We definitely see you pushing a little bit harder than we've seen you push in the past, and that's fantastic. So keep going, man, and just congratulations. Great drive for you today, and shoutouts.
Shout out for everybody that's racing today, and shout out to my pit crew to help me out with my mechanical problems, and shout out to you for commentating today.
Cheers, and again, congratulations, my man, and we'll see you next week for GT3s.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. I'll be there.
Perfect. All right, we're going to move up to our second place finisher here in our amateur side of the race today with 750. Now, 750 had a spectacular race here as well for the AM drivers, coming in sixth overall in the race today. Had great, incredible pace, and of course, that great looking Twitch car. Easily has got to make them half a second faster when you have a livery that looks that good on the track. But congratulations, 750. Really great drive from you. For the most part, we didn't see you really have too many strong-willed battles. You had pretty quick, short battles for the most part, and for the most part, you just kept your car pretty safe. And at the end of the day, coming in a nice, strong P2 finish. Sitting a little bit down in the standings here for the amateur division, but that's really going to bolster you up, of course, moving into round 5 in a couple of weekends. So talk us through your race today. How'd it go for you?
Um, I'm glad that you feel it was a good race for me. I actually feel like I did a very terrible job for the simple reason I only got on to race for qualifying, so that was really my first time going around the track to get to know the track, the corners, the bits and pieces like that. So I didn't have any chance during the week to get up to speed with pitting strategies, and I think everybody didn't change the tires on the first stop, but I did, and that cost me a position the hair raiser, so it did. And then the second pit entry cost me a further 3 seconds that left it very tight then between me and Superboy. So it's while it was a good finish, I definitely feel the race could have been a lot better for me overall. So, but like you say, some battles here and there. Keep it on the track the best you can, and yeah, hopefully the points keep rolling in.
Absolutely, and I mean that was a good points game. P2 points for you today should most certainly get you looking into that top five, moving into the final round, coming here in a couple of weekends as well. So, how do you feel about the next track coming up here in a couple of weeks?
Um, well, I think I probably could be better in the standings if I had have made the first two races, but given what it is, starting from the last one, if I can finish with first or second on the next track, I think that's all I can hope for, and just feel like at least I've shown I have some ability, and I can try and mix it with the big boys every so often. Given Tap and Supra there, I thought that was going to be good battles for us. And then even with Hellraiser, kind of at the beginning before the first pit stop, it seemed like it was on similar pace to him. So if I can bring that into the next track and mix it and try and push in, break into the top five as an overall finish, I'll be happy.
Absolutely, and I mean all we can do is, show up from week to week, put the car on the track, put the pedal down to the metal, and do the best we can. But you're showing, obviously, that you can pace with the big boys with the pro division here. Again, sixth place overall finish out of 14 starting grid today. You really shouldn't be too disappointed. I don't think. I think you still had a good race for not maybe having the amount of information you would have liked to have had before race start. I think overall you still did a really fantastic job, so don't cut yourself too short either, my man.
Thank you for that there. Like I say, I'll be harsh on myself now because hopefully that'll keep the fire going. That in the next one, I'll try and push that bit harder, and keep that competitiveness up and make sure the big boys don't feel like they're getting away with it too easy.
And I honestly don't think that the pro drivers are thinking that these races are theirs and only theirs, because you guys have proven, especially over the last 3 rounds, that the amateur drivers can put the pressure on these big boys up there. So keep doing what you guys are doing, because it makes for absolutely exciting racing on the track. It's so fun to watch the amateur and the pro drivers battle for overall position on the racetrack, and of course try to better your position in your own division in the current race as well. So again, just a nice solid race for me. You're looking really good moving into the final round of the season. I really can't wait to see what you're going to bring in 2 weeks here. So any final thoughts?
Nothing really. I think you've hit the nail on the head where you've just said keep it going until the final round, bring something spectacular, make it a showstopper, and hopefully that's the way we'll go.
Hey, all right. Well, congratulations again. Solid P2 finish for you here today, and shoutouts.
Shout out to yourself for the commentary and also for the kind words. Shout out to all of the guys. Piggins, Doug, Barr did extremely well. They pulled away at the front of the field, so well done to them. Well done to everybody. It was a good race, and let's keep it going.
Absolutely, and well said. And again, congratulations, and we'll see you next week as well for our GT3 championship.
Excellent. See you next week.
Cheers. All right, and we got to move now to our winner of our amateur division, who finished third overall in our race here today, Mr. Bar 27. I remember when we talked a couple of weeks ago, you said you wanted to win. You didn't get the overall race win, but you definitely got the amateur win here today. So how you feeling, my guy?
I'm feeling pretty good, actually. Kind of messed up the fuel strategy at the end, but I think I could have got Doug if I didn't make that mistake, but overall, pretty happy.
I mean, you had a really good race. You qualified fairly well. You got a good race start. Talk to me a little bit about that battle. I mean, you and Doug and Pigums were just locked into a three-way battle for the lead there for the last 16 minutes of the race. I felt like were in probably the best position, being in third place, just a little tiny bit behind these guys. while they were battling like that, because it gave you an opportunity to capitalize on even just the slightest mistake by those two drivers, which would have slowed them down. Unfortunately, those two drivers didn't really seem to make that mistake. And of course, like you said, we did notice at the end of the broadcast that you laid off the pace, which told me immediately that you were probably getting low on fuel. And thankfully, at that point in time, the rest of the field had finished, and even if you would have ran out of fuel, you would have been able just to bring that home for a P3 overall finish. But just talk to us about your race. That was an intense race for you pretty much all race long. You weren't very rarely alone, and you were pretty much always either battling or working with somebody to try and catch that lead. So talk us through it.
The quali, I was hoping for that twice in a row pole position, but of course that end of quali, Pidgems and Doug had to overtake me, so I started third. And then, like you said, I was pretty much. We battled the first part right before the first pits, and then after the first pits is when Doug got that 6-second lead, and then me and Pidgems both decided to work together. We cut it down to, I think, 5 seconds, and then second round of pits happened, and then that's when the battle started, and I think I was in pretty good position, but like I said, I made a mistake in the second round of pits with I was meaning to put or get no tires on, but I kind of did that way too quickly, and I put tires on. That cost me a couple seconds in the pits. And then I also did not put enough fuel in, which cost me the first and second place battle at the end. And yeah, it was a pretty good battle between me, Doug, and Pidgems. Unfortunate, I did run out of fuel, I think, second or third last corner of the race, but I would say congrats to Pidgems and Doug for the great battle.
Well, I mean, congratulations to yourself as well. I mean, I know you're rocking an amateur banner this season, and that's just due to not the best qualifying session, of course, for your division for this particular series. We do know that you're more than capable of being a pro driver as well, but still a great race. And I mean, you're showing great pace. You're also on pad too. Am I correct? You're still racing on pad?
Yep.
So I mean, you and Doug, who's in the same situation, do have to consider that tire wear a little bit more than, say, a driver on a wheel and pedal set, just because of the way the schematics of the game and the way the motions of the game are. Controller drivers just tend to use up a little more tire. So the fact that you're on pad and racing this well against a lot of these pro drivers up in these wheel rigs, it really does say a lot. Now, we do know that Bar 27 does have a setup with wheel and pedals, but of course, like any driver who's trying to make that transition, you tend to lose quite a bit of pace before you find it back again. So we understand when some drivers are still using their pads during league championships as opposed to their wheels, because that transition period takes a while. So it's nice to see that you're still blazing fast on that controller, my man. And I mean, what else do we say? We did see some different pit strategies today too. We seen the 750 had made mention of that, actually, saying that he felt like he was the only one that made a tire change in that first pit stop. About half the field actually changed tires in that first round of pit stops, and drivers like yourselves and Doug and a few of the other guys that were up front opted to just take fuel on that first stop. Do you think that might have changed the way that the race ended?
The first round of pit stops, I don't think so, but where that second round of pit stops, if you took tires both times, that's probably what cost you a little bit, and it definitely cost me a little bit.
Absolutely, and Pigham's actually was one of those drivers that took tires in the first stop and not the second stop, which I believe is why he was able to close up that 5 seconds on Doug in the pit lane there. So a little bit of strategy difference between some of the drivers, but nonetheless, that parks you in first place overall in AM and third place overall for the race finish, plus fastest lap on the track as well. So just great job, Bar, and congratulations. And anything you want to add?
Yeah, I totally forgot about fastest lap for a second, but of course, my goal is trying to catch Strone in that first place, but I think I need like 750 Pappy and Type R to be in between us, but I'm coming for Trone.
And I mean, you're there. You again sitting sixth overall in the point standings as we got them up on the screen here while we're talking to you guys today. That's a good gain in points. You should definitely leapfrog Anto there and Unseen, I would think. And I think you're going to be putting that pressure right on Pappy too as well coming into the final round here. So Pappy didn't have the ideal race for himself, I think, today, but that's all right. He's still fighting in there, sitting on that final podium position there for points as well. But congratulations, great race. Obviously, missing a couple of races didn't help your cause in the standings this season, but making a pretty big charge here at the end of the season. So, shoutouts, my guy.
Definitely want to shout out Doug and Pigeons for the battle. Of course, shout out everyone that participated. Shout out to our new sponsor that we're going to be doing the prizes for the next few championships. And then, of course, shout out to the fans and everyone who makes it possible for us to race.
Absolutely.
And shout out to the commentator.
Okay. Well, the commentator appreciates just a clean, absolutely spectacular, fast, and efficient racing that you guys provide week in and week out. Seriously, it's so much fun. And when it's that much fun, we love to do it. So at the end of the day, it's your community and your drivers and your staff that puts this together and puts on these great shows for the viewers. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ghost.
All right, well, great shout-outs by Bar27. One of our admin staff here at the GTRC, ladies and gentlemen. He is one of the guys that's behind what we see here on the screen week in and week out as well. Of course, he's got a great team that he works together with, and these guys absolutely just rock out some great stuff. So, like I said, we are moving into our final round of these MX5s in 2 weekends, ladies and gentlemen. It will be the final round, and then right after that final round is the final round of our GT3 series as well. So these championships are drawing to an end, which means new stuff coming, folks. Get your keys ready. Stay tuned to those socials because there will be announcements coming in a few weeks' time. More racing from GT45 Gaming and the GTRC racing community, folks. So stay tuned. But congratulations, Bart. We absolutely love seeing you on track competing with those pro drivers. And we got to get over to our pro guys here and have a little chat with them as well. So, third place in our pro division, ladies and gentlemen, is Hairraiser. Hairraiser had a little bit of an adventurous race here today. He started off real strong. He was battling there. He was just a little bit off that front group, just kind of doing his thing and running his laps. And he was in a good battle coming into the final corner of the track early on in the race. He got in a little too heavy on that curb, and it unsettled his poor race car. And he spun that thing out, kept it out of the wall, kept it out of the way of oncoming traffic, kept it, didn't collect anybody, got back on track and recovers for an overall third place finish with a last few lap move on Ibra to take the position. So crazy race for you, mate. Congratulations on that third place finish. Talk us through it, man. What was going through your mind today?
Third? I thought it was fourth.
No, I don't think so. Was it?
I wrote was fourth.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so third overall, my man.
Oh, yeah. It was pretty tough, to be honest with you. Yeah, I didn't change for tyres at all, really, to be honest. Didn't have tyres at all. Just stuck with the first set all race. But I think I had a bit of a, like you say, I probably hit the curb on next to Supra and it spun me around. But yeah, I managed to claw it back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was really tough.
That, I mean, you were down into 11th place after the spin in the final. What is that, T10, I believe it is, on Red Bull Ring here.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, and that's exactly what happened. You and Supra went into the corner side by side, and you just ate too much of that curb, and it just kind of unbalanced your car. And when you came back off the curb, it just kind of went around on you. It happened to Tap as well, actually, a little earlier on in the race at the exact same spot. He did the exact same thing a little earlier on in the race as well. So you weren't the only driver that suffered the turn 10 woe here today. but I mean, you definitely put your foot down. So for only being on one set of soft tires and driving all the way back up into an overall fourth place finish is pretty impressive, my man. I got to say to start with, but. We didn't see too many crazy battles from you. Obviously, the real key battle we seen was between you and Supra there when you were starting to gain back up on the recovery drive, and of course with that spin. But it didn't seem like you had too much trouble getting through the pack from there on in. Did you have any real good intense battles as you were making your way back through the pack? We missed a fair amount of the mid-pack racing today because those leaders were just being crazy today. So
I think I had a bit of battle with 750. He was putting pressure on me a fair bit. And of course Ibra at the end had I was battling with Ibra, I think, and but yeah, it was quite intense. Good drivers, good racing from all the drivers.
And I mean, as always with Red Bull Ring, the penalties always play a major factor in these races. We've seen several drivers today collecting track limit penalties, especially from the stewarding staff here at Red Bull Ring. These guys are relentless. They definitely want you guys to keep it right and tight and in between the curbs here. And if you don't, they will make you pay for it. And we've seen drivers like Ibra, for example, really paying the price on the penalties here today. And unfortunately for Ibra, that may have been the determining factor for him not finishing on podium today potentially as well. So there is something to be said for just keeping it right and tight and keeping it in between the lines on the racetracks, especially at a track like Red Bull Ring, because you're saving yourself the hassle of a 3/4 second time loss per half-second penalty, right? So we didn't see you really struggling with too many penalties throughout the race when we were watching you go around. And do you think that maybe helped you get back up into the position that you finished in?
I think it did. I think I had about 2 penalties, I think, for the whole race, and there were only 5 under, so they were only little ones. But yeah, I think it did help me very much so.
Absolutely. Well, great racing by you again. Just the experience really kind of showing there, having that early race incident, not panicking, just settling into the race, and just knowing that you got to put your nose down now and do the best you can, and coming up with a P3 finish here today. So that's going to be good for you for your standings here too, as of course you're only 6 points behind Doug coming into the standings today. Now obviously you're not going to gain any points on him, but you're not going to lose too many points on him in that final push to the final round here. So do you have a shot at Doug coming into final round, do you think?
We shall see. It depends on strategy again and how it goes, but I'll give it a good go.
Absolutely. And shoutouts, my man.
Just to all the drivers, congratulations, well done, and to yourself and to all the fans, thank you.
All right, cheers, and can't wait to see what you're going to bring for us for GT3s next week, so good luck for next week's race as well.
Cheers, mate.
All right, let's get over to Mr. Doug Barrow. Now, Doug, I know wasn't feeling very well today, so we do appreciate you sitting back and waiting to talk with us, Doug. Tough race for you out there today. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, it was I wouldn't say tough race, good race. A little bit off my pace or my consistency, struggling to see. So I think I did quite well. I had an incident early with Ibra. Don't know how that's going to... None of the other incidents have gone my way, so I doubt that one will either. But we were coming into a braking zone, both in a straight line. I'm almost running the curb on the left, and his car's just come across the front of mine and into a wall. So we'll see how that goes. But other than that, it was a good race. I had some good battles with Bar and Ibra and Piggy up to that point. Some mental laps where full laps were side by side with me and Pig. Those were brilliant, loved that. And just my last stint let me down. I had my strategy, which I don't normally have one. My strategy worked really well. But my last stint, the car was twitching and snatching and just behaving very differently to the first 2 stints. So I lost a lot of time straight away. And then towards the end of it, picked up a load of penalties. Otherwise, I think it would have been mine. But, Piggy was fantastic, quick driver. Bar snatched that fastest lap, so fair play to him. So I'm just sitting in the middle at the moment. So, yeah, but it was good.
It was fantastic racing, especially between you and Pigums for so many moments in that race. like you said, going a full lap around the racetrack, basically side by side through every corner, never making contact with each other, and just having great battles, swapping that position for first and second place amongst yourselves for several times throughout the race. But again, like you said, penalties really kind of got you in trouble near the end of the race, and that's just due to sheer battling. The pressure of two more drivers trying to take position one from you, trying to defend, you still trying to hold that pace. Sometimes a guy makes a mistake, and like you said, of course, the car wasn't feeling the same as it was throughout the race. Now, with that being said, do you think that contributes to the weather change on the racetrack?
No, I don't think it does, because if anything, it should have got a bit slipperier, and mine got snatchy, which means it was gripping where it wouldn't normally grip. Especially the last few laps, it was really bad, snatching into the last bend, and then 4 bends before that, the one where you're coming down the hill and it's a sweeping right-hander, it snatched into there a lot. So, no, I mean, I never understood the penalty system of this track. It's really quite weird. It can kill you for half an inch, but let you go off for 3 foot. It's really weird. So there's a couple of times I saw Pig running wider than me round the bend. I've come round the bend. I've picked up a penalty and he hasn't. That in the last stint, which is where it all went wrong for me. Oh, why haven't you got one? So yeah, it's one of those things that happens on this game. This track's always been a bit funny with penalties. It's either really strict or it lets you get away with God knows what.
It's funny you mentioned that.
It was good.
Actually, because during the broadcast, especially, what was that? I think it was the third last or the fourth last lap of the race. UN, Piggums, and Barr came around turn 10. Barr kept it on the track. Both UN, Piggums both went wide. You went quite a bit wider than Piggums did, but Piggums clearly went over that line where they typically give you that penalty and somehow managed not to get the penalties. So we actually did make mention of that in the broadcast too, thinking, how come Piggums didn't get the penalty and Doug did? But sometimes I do find on Red Bull Ring, if you float out wide and it's if you just let off the gas and coast for about 2 or 3 seconds, sometimes that makes a difference on picking up that track limit penalty.
Well, I know the one I picked up, I was off the gas and I still picked it up.
Yeah, that was tough. Again, Red Bull Ring, I said it during the broadcast as well.
Red Bull Ring's done it since they introduced it into this game, so it did it in sport as well.
Yeah, it did.
They've tried to adjust things, because people used to take the mickey out of turn 1 and turn 3 and the last bend, and they tried to adjust it, and I just don't think they adjusted it all the way to the wall. I think they adjusted it part way and then stopped.
Yeah.
Well, nobody's going to run wider than that, But
true story.
It's a fun track. It makes for good racing. I feel like I didn't quite get the slipstream on others like that others were getting on me, but I always feel like that. So it's one of those things. But great race, great fun.
It was a spectacular race. I mean, I don't think the camera left the front pack for the last 17 minutes of the race, except to do a quick run through to make sure we didn't really miss anything too important. Other than that, you guys absolutely stole the show at the end of the race, which is that amazing, like I said, 17-minute battle you guys had right up until the last half of the final lap when everything just finally sorted out. Barr was running out of fuel, he had to back off, you had the penalties, and Piggums just kind of just staying out in front of you. Again, the same thing too in the last very, very final corners of the race there. Piggums went really, really wide coming out of turn 10 to come across the finish line there, and then of course you picked up that half-second penalty as well. I wasn't really sure Piggums was going to hold the lead after that, of course, crossing the line with penalty there, but it seemed like you were just far enough behind. So again, just a crazy race finish here from you guys. Like it seems to be every week you guys have something crazy happen right at that start-finish line. But man, you had a great race, and unfortunately today Piggums he just outbested you just by about a second there. So
yeah.
And again, you weren't, ladies and gentlemen, Doug is very under the weather today. He wasn't feeling well, so huge props to Doug for getting on track and giving it everything he's got and having such great battles with such good drivers. It was really fun to watch here today, so just huge congratulations. That's definitely going to help your points lead going into the final round over Hair Razor as well. And how you're feeling coming into the final round here?
I'm really good. I like the last circuit. So yeah, it should be fun. I'm hoping. Me and Razor were having a discussion before the race about the points difference. I was just saying, I just need to know what position I can finish in to still have a chance for the next round.
Yep.
But seem to do well in these cars. A little bit disappointed with second, but I shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Considering I can't really see very well, I'm all dizzy and I'm in massive pain. I did fantastic, so I can't knock it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, you live to race another day, and that's the most important thing, right? So,
yeah.
Shout outs, my guy.
Firstly, to yourself at GT45 Gaming for all the support we get from yourselves. That's brilliant. To the tier 2 guys, well done to them. Well done to Bath, because I know he's a faster driver than an Am, but he had a nightmare and it wasn't sandbagging, so we had to let it go. Excellent run by Pig. It's a shame he didn't join the season at the beginning. He's come in as a support driver, which was really good of him. Otherwise, we were running low on numbers to start with, and although we didn't get a full grid, we got a decent sized grid. So no, it was great, and yeah, thanks to everybody. Thanks for the support.
Yeah, cheers. And again, ladies and gentlemen, Doug is another one of the guys behind the scenes here that puts in a lot of extra work behind what we do see live on the broadcast to keep these events rolling week in and week out for us. So again, just congratulations to you guys for providing such great fun, family-friendly events for everybody to enjoy.
Yeah, thank you.
And here we go. We're going to go talk to Mr. Pigums, the big kahuna today. He is sitting on the top of the podium, and definitely a hard fought race today. First of all, congratulations. You had some fans in the chat today, let me tell you, my guy, and I'm sure that they're pretty happy to see a first place result. So just talk us through that race, man. She was a tough one.
That was just a hell of a race. That was really fun, right from the start right to the end of it. Great driving by Doug and by Barra there. It's neither one of them. They were right there the whole time, and there was never a moment you could really just kind of sit and relax for a second.
Absolutely, and a little bit of a different strategy from yourself than, of course, the drivers you were surrounded with for most of the race. When you made your first stop, you opted to change your tires and take fuel, where Doug, Barr, Ibra, all those other drivers around you up at the front decided to not change their tires and just take fuel only, which is what gave Doug that nice little gap on you guys in that second stint there. But then when you came in, you only then having to take fuel on that second stop allowed you basically to gain all that time back up, and then of course ensued the absolutely amazing final 17-minute battle between yourself, him, and Bar 27. What's going through your mind? You were in a tough spot for a lot of that battle. You're the second place driver. You are tucked right up in behind that first place driver, obviously trying to find a way to get around that driver. And then you've got another driver tucked right up underneath your back bumper doing the same thing for you. So how do you manage being a driver who's trying to be offensive and defensive at the same time?
That's always the hardest place to be, but luckily both Doug in front and Barra behind, neither one of them pushed it too much to make it. Everybody played the part really well, so it made it a lot easier in that situation.
And I mean, we see you in many leagues around the Gran Turismo 7 circuits here, of course, through our networks and communities. We roll kind of in the same crowd, so we run into each other quite a bit in various forms, whether we're racing against each other or I'm behind the mic and you're behind the race car, whatever the case is. And, you're very calculated, you're very systematic driver, you understand the race cars quite well. How have the physics since the update this week changed from most recent races you've been in? Can you notice the difference in the physics?
Yeah, there's definitely a difference. The cars seem to turn in quite a bit better now. Some cars, they don't, you won't break the tires free quite as easily on the corner exits as well. I think, what did they change, in the suspension geometry? So I don't know what they changed, but there's a lot less understeer on turn in now, which actually makes it quite a bit more enjoyable to drive a lot of the cars.
Now with these MRs, of course, a little bit more of a skill set to drive. Now, obviously, Polyphony Digital has made it a little bit simpler to drive these cars now with some adjustments they've made recently. But of course, with every new update, the MR cars are always the big question mark in the game and how they handle. Now we know the Miata is an MR car. How much did it change the handling of the rear swing in these Miatas for today?
Not too bad actually. This car drove really well today. It was the first time I drove it today since the update, and it drives really nice right now.
So there you go.
Relatively predictable.
All the fans out there viewing right now, or will be viewing later on down the road, rewatching the broadcast at a later date on your convenience, the MR cars are becoming quite easy to drive. It still takes a little bit of a required more skill set than say driving your typical Jaguar or Corvette around a racetrack, but becoming very easy to drive for say the less experienced sim racers out there. Don't be scared, jump into them. Highly recommend a Porsche 911 RSR if you're going to start with an MR car. It seems to be one of the more stable ones.
Definitely a fun one.
And just a ton of fun to drive that car, exactly. It was my favorite in sport, and it's very quickly becoming my favorite here in GT7 all over again. So, yeah, great car. But it's just another great race. I mean, I don't know how much practice you put in for each of these races. I know you were stepping in as a fill-in today, so you probably didn't have a lot of practice for this race. You probably just kind of came in.
I didn't get a whole lot for this one. I was just kind of winging it on this one.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, Red Bull Ring is Red Bull Ring. We all know how to get around this racetrack no matter what car we throw on it. It's a fan favorite. It's a racer's favorite. It's just a true, genuine, good racing racetrack. And so with that being said, you came in and put yourself in a really solid race. I mean, that battle between you and Doug, the outside passes into T1 and T3, the inside passes, the defending you guys did on each other was just absolutely textbook, fun to watch.
That was a blast. Absolutely a blast. You don't get to have races like that too often, so you got to enjoy them ones when
Absolutely.
you get a chance to.
We have the replay saved. There is definitely some good footage in there for some future videos coming from the GTRC for sure. So GT3 Championship next week. You've been climbing your way up those standings pretty good. How are you feeling about next week's round?
I can't wait for that one. It's going to be a good race.
Absolutely.
It's one of my favorite tracks to drive, so I don't even care what happens in that one. I just like driving that one, so it's going to be fun either way.
Cheers. And the Apex Sim Racing boys are definitely, we're in here cheering you on today. So, yeah, just so you know, I think the before of them popped in there and said, "Go Piggies." So,
Awesome.
so you know, bringing it home for the fans today. So that's fantastic. And again, we just great racing. Glad to see you become a part of the community here and seeing you on track with these guys. You add another level of competition to some of the drivers here, which of course all drivers appreciate more competition on the racetrack, as it makes it just that much more fun to race. So. And you guys are proving it week in and week out. You guys are seem to be getting much closer in pace together, and you guys seem to be racing a lot closer together. And the battling you guys are having just makes for absolutely amazing broadcast ability. So thank you for that, because she'd be awfully boring if it wasn't for you guys doing what you do out there and showing the amazing skill you guys got on the racetrack. So.
Oh man, and the more you race with everybody, the more you get to know all the guys you're driving around. So it just lets you have more and more fun out there too. So. I'm going to get better. Absolutely.
Well, man, huge congratulations on the win. Coming in as a reserve today. We may or may not see you in a couple weeks for the final round. I guess it depends if the call comes in to get you on track. But if we do, we can't wait to see you.
Yeah, I'll be there if needed.
And shout-outs, my guy. Shout-outs.
Oh, just everybody, yourself, and the guys who putting this on, and the Apex guys, and just everybody who come up and made a good race today. That was just great all around.
Absolutely, and it was one of the best races of the season when it comes to the MX-5s. Definitely just happened here today. Don't miss it. If you missed it, if you're just catching the end of the broadcast, give me 5 minutes, wait for this thing to load up on the channels, and hit the play button, because you guys are going to miss an absolutely blast of a race. Probably one of the most fun races of the season between the two championships right now was this race, ladies and gentlemen. So Yeah, definitely want to make sure that if you missed it, you want to go back at your own convenience, of course, and don't miss those great moments we've seen on and off the racetrack. Huge congratulations to all the drivers on the track, to our podium finishers, and of course all the other racers that were on there competing, giving it everything they got. Thank you for all the time they put into practice for these races to give us these great shows. Thank you to the GTRC community for putting on the events, obviously, and giving us a platform to broadcast from. It's hugely appreciated. And of course, I'm the host for the evening, GT45 Gaming, and the proud new sponsors moving forward for the GTRC community. We'll be back next Saturday for round 11 of our GT3 championships. We got 2 rounds left, folks. It is almost over, and we're going to be crowning some champions here in the next couple weeks at the GTRC. Don't want to miss it. If you had not subscribed to the channels, hit that subscribe button now. Turn on them live notifications. It's a free thing you can do to help the league grow, of course. And the more fans we bring in, the more chance we have at more racers jumping on track and just making this event more and more every year that progresses. So thank you very much for tuning in, and stay winning. Peace and love, and we'll see you all next week.